Okay guys, how you doing? What I wanted to do here was do kind of a catch-up of movies that I saw in 2008, 2009. Just basically catch it up so I can start doing reviews for 2010. So let's go ahead and start with 2008. In January, the first movie I saw of the year was Cloverfield, and I enjoyed it. I liked that there was a new giant monster movie for the U.S. I like that idea. A lot of people likened it unto the Blair Witch Project. I can understand it, but I don't agree. So, Cloverfield, thumbs up. In March, I saw The Bank Job. Jonathan Statham? Yeah, something like that. I don't know. Bald guy from Transporter. Good movie. I didn't know it was based on actual events until later on. Not one I'd buy, but definitely one that I would watch again if it was on television. Let's see, movies from April. Neither of these did I see in the theater, but I did see them ultimately. First is Leatherheads, period piece movie about football starring George Clooney. I'd say catch it if it's on TV, elsewise don't even bother. Excuse me. Another one was Harold and Kumar Escape from Guantanamo Bay. Saw this one on television. I did not pay any money to watch it, neither to rent nor to go to the theater. If you like the first movie, you like this one. Personally, I could go without. Alright, in May, Iron Man. At this point, I think Iron Man is the best superhero movie ever. A lot of people are gonna say, oh, Dark Knight. Well, yes, Dark Knight was a great movie, but as far as portraying the superhero himself, I would say that Iron Man did the perfect job of capturing who Tony Stark, who becomes Iron Man, is. The special effects were awesome, and I can't wait for the second one. Okay, they also put out in May a movie called Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I don't think this should ever be considered part of the Indiana Jones canon. I don't know what Lucas and Spielberg were thinking, but, you know, aliens? Come on, no. Move along. In June I saw The Happening, which, now, up until now, I've owned every one of M. Night Shyamalan's movies. As of The Happening, I broke that trend. It was, they telegraphed, or they basically told you within the first 30 minutes what was going wrong, and Mark Wahlberg's performance was kind of wooden. There was one little scary part at the end, but it was too little too late. Also in June saw The Incredible Hulk. Now, as I said, Iron Man is a great superhero movie. The Hulk is not a superhero. The Hulk's kind of a comic book version, or comic book superhero world version of a monster movie. I think Edward Norton was a perfect person to take over the role of Bruce Banner after the previous movie with Eric Bana. I think if you didn't like the previous movie, kind of liked the on-the-run aspect of the old television show with Lou Ferrigno and Bill Bixby, this movie is going to be perfect. If you've never seen either of them, still it's going to be good. The special effects are good and honestly blend well in. Even though they kind of try and make the Hulk a hero by putting him up against the Abomination, you could give or take that character, but it makes for a better movie, I will say that. Get Smart with Steve Carell came out in May, and honestly, I loved this movie. I had watched the show as a kid in reruns on Nick at Night and now TV Land. Thought this movie was an awesome translation to the modern times, the modern post 9/11. I hate to say that, post 9/11, but the post 9/11 espionage world, as it were. Thought it was Steve Carell was perfect to take over Don Adams' role, and yeah, good movie. Thumbs up. Go see it. Wall-E. That's probably the best movie I've seen without any dialogue. Well, there is some dialogue later on, but the scenes without, with just the robots are amazing. I mean, now the CGI isn't photorealistic. It's not trying to be. It doesn't need to be. The story is what's so great about this, and just the fact that they can get these robots to convey emotion without actually saying anything, and without actually having, like, human faces that move and contort the way ours do. Just, it was amazing. I'll just go ahead and end it there. Good movie. Go see it. You're gonna love it. Okay, in June, ended up with Wanted. I didn't catch this one at first. I had to rent it on DVD later. Based on a comic book, but let's just say it was a decent movie. I wouldn't pay money to see it again. It's worth seeing at least once, but ultimately I think it kind of strayed from what I understood the comic to be a little too much. So, yeah. July, Hellboy 2: The Golden Army. Great movie. I liked the first one, but this one really is a bit bigger story. Special effects are just as amazing as the first one. How this one lost in special effects makeup to Benjamin Button is beyond me. I think the Academy's insane. But you know what? They passed up, Little Miss Sunshine for a Scorsese movie that wasn't even his best work, so I'll give them that. They've lost a lot of my faith. Of course, everyone knows that in July of 2008, The Dark Knight came out. What can I say that hasn't been said? Heath Ledger's next to last performance was also quite possibly his best. Christian Bale's Batman voice got a little out of hand. That probably sounds weird, auto-tuned. And basically, it made for a 3-hour movie that was actually watchable. Okay, August. The Mummy Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. I actually only saw this a couple weeks ago over the 2009 Christmas break. Pretty good. If you've seen the first two, you're really not going to see a whole lot new with this one. The female lead character, actress has been replaced. I can't remember their names at the moment. It's a little awkward to see the difference in performance. It just doesn't feel like the same person. But ultimately, decent movie. Popcorn flick. Watch it on TV. Tropic Thunder. Well, at my job, that's probably the most quoted movie I've ever heard, especially among certain individuals. And it was hilarious. I'm not going to lie to you. It was the perfect spoof of a lot of the action movies of these, 80s and early 90s. Especially the war flicks and whatnot, like Rambo and all that. So definitely go see that one. Last movie I saw in August was Star Wars: The Clone Wars, which honestly played out exactly like what it was. Big setup for the TV show of the same name. And while the TV show is great, the story of the movie didn't really necessarily warrant a movie. So, I like it, but I don't know. I'm glad I didn't go see it in the theater. Alright, let's see here.